Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fate Forward Fables presents Neon by Night, Vampire the Masquerade actual play set in 1980s Las Vegas. I am the GM. I am Mike, or DM Mike here. I am the storyteller for our chronicle. Our players are Alan,
Hi, my name is Alan. I play Owen Vanderham, Toreador, and everyone's favorite.
Sarah,
I play Violet. I'm also a Toreador. Owen's better sister and better than him.
it was your chance to say, and the real favorite. And Rod.
I am Rod. I play Clarence, a Gangrel fixer for the other two to clean up the messes they get into.
And they make up our coterie. Where we last left our group, they were at an enigmatic bar known as the Oasis. It's out in the desert. It's known for being a biker hotspot, but when they got there, they realized that not everything is as it seems. The interior seems like a nice upscale restaurant and place. But the owner turned out to be hiding a little secret herself, as well as the place got attacked by some vampire bikers, and the supernatural shadow creature, of course, decided to make a cameo visit. We pick up with, I think, Owen was clutching to Celine and Henning as the shadow creature was attacking.
I'll keep my eye on them.
I think Clarence was dealing with a hole in the wall. Were you helping to barricade it, I do believe?
I think I left it behind where I'm like, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
That's right. You had already been tackled outside and had to come back inside. And what was Violet doing?
I was just standing there because she had brought me out.
That's right.
She's currently negotiating with her very gracious host.
Yeah, and the host turned into her true form, which is she is a Naga, a were-snake. And she takes the form of a massive, kind of blonde and green cobra. So we pick up with Owen clutching to Celine and Henning. As lights around you are starting to burst, and glass is hitting the floor, and you can see other lights in the place snuffing out or breaking or blowing, as a shadow seems to be encroaching from all around, creeping in from the corners. You have one hand on Henning and one hand on Celine.
Yep. Just know it as the darkness it encroaches. I have an awareness of where they are, what's going on, and
As Celine, you see she's trying to fight your pull, she's pulling away from you. She's like, unhand me! What are you doing? What?
I'm saving your life. Be grateful sometime.
As you see the look on her face, if a vampire could go paler than what they are, she does. As she sees a shadow from the corner start to come in like water flooding in from a leak in the floor. As she steps back, and she ends up grabbing a hold of one of your arms, holding around it with both of her arms. And Henning does the same thing on the other side of you. He's like, oh no, it's coming!
So it's coming for us. Just from one way, or is it kind of encroaching entirely?
It's kind of coming from any of the corners of the room that cast a shadow due to the way the light hits them. Anywhere where there's a little shadow, it seems to be growing. And with the lights going out, those areas are increasing in number.
They're both on my arms. Go to the middle of the bar, and then closer towards the back, back rooms.
Right.
It's gonna be safer than trying to leave the front door. So.
And Violet, you are standing there next to this lady who's just gone full-on Naga form. As you see, she's got her hands out, and she's starting to sway back and forth, and making these hissing sounds that sound like parcel tongue from Harry Potter. Violet, you're standing next to start that over again. So Violet, you're standing next to Zelda as she is in full-on Naga form. And she's swaying back and forth, chanting something in parcel tongue. Well, it sounds like parcel tongue from Harry Potter, but it's a lot of hisses and hasa lasa masa. Hey, what are you doing?
Seeing that and seeing the shadow of Watcher, like, I don't know if I should roll to see how affected I am.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do a willpower. I like where you're coming from. Let's do that. Let's see how much you freak out.
Yeah.
Oh, not good.
That's about right.
Yeah. Oh, man. Making sure that showed up. Yep. Alright, so you see all these things coming in, and you can feel where you were previously hurt, and the chest no longer hurts at the sight of the shadow. Whatever this Naga lady did, she cured you. But there's still some PTSD lingering. And the shadows encroaching and her doing this, the crowd's going nuts, the biker sounds trailing away outside in the distance after the commotion they just caused here at the bar. You look over, you see Owen is trying to sneak towards the back as it looks like he's got two swimming wings on made of Henning and Celine. As you see Clarence, just your fixer, your gangrel, your badass just got slammed outside by what looks like a werewolf in not full Krynos form. As he's walking away like, yeah, fuck this, through the crowd. You are having one of those moments where if there was a camera, it'd be spinning and circling you as you're trying to figure out what's going on around you. You seem frozen in place. Locked in a state of panic. Would you like to try to break out of your state of panic?
Yeah.
Give me a survival plus composure.
Because I'm just going like...
Yeah, give me a survival plus composure. You've hit a state of panic, and you're about to hit that moment where a gangrel would try to ride the wave. A Toreador, on the other hand, who knows what would happen to them.
That. Oh,
hell yeah. So yeah, you're able to push through, and like you're starting to freak out. Pick one of your coterie members, and that's who you go to latch to. Your brother or your fixer.
I'm gonna go to Clarence. My brother's got two people.
I'm running out of limbs.
I'll just hold onto your leg.
Alright, Clarence, Violet comes, like, well, you describe it. How do you approach Clarence?
It's like, if there's people in my way, I'm like, just going like, the Assassin's Creed way.
Swimming through people.
Yeah. Like, we need to go. Come on. Like,
Clarence, you can see Owen approaching the back rooms area of the bar. As you can see, it looks like the shadow is trying to surround Owen, Henning, and Celine.
They're going after those three over there, though.
And you can see the same thing, Violet. You can see Owen is trying to make a break for the back rooms, as it looks like the shadow is trying to cut him off from going anywhere. Like lights and candles near him are starting to go out specifically around Owen.
I gotta help my brother. He's not gonna go through what I went through.
All right, let's try to help him then.
Alright, so if you're gonna go to push your way through the crowd quickly to go help him, give me some athletics plus dex. Or actually, athletics plus composure. That seems like a good one for right now, given the situation. As the chanting from Zelda is getting louder and more pronounced, a wind feels like it's blowing through the building.
I believe in me.
Oh, fix
Oh no.
Alright. So.
At least I got 3.
Okay. So you've got. Let's see what we're working with here. Looking at your rolls. Okay. You two are forcing your way through the crowd as you feel some people pushing up against you and bumping you back. And Clarence, you go to push through. Do you have like Violet under your wing kind of thing pushing through the crowd?
I think we're kind of like just
Like arm
we're
length.
an old
maybe.
school. We're doing like an old school football wedge, arm length. Just get out of the way, move, shoulders down, elbows up.
Okay. So you guys get you end up slamming into somebody that as you do they like turn around and they try to grab you by the lapels, Clarence.
No.
You guys try to break it out.
I could try breaking it out, yeah.
Give me brawl plus strength.
I feel confident with that. Oh no.
Yeah, you're able to break his hands away, and he does like that really exaggerated movie thing where he's like pulling back for a huge punch. What are you doing, Violet?
I'll punch him.
Go for it. Give me a brawl plus. Give me a brawl plus strength. Oh, it's just like a movie.
Blood surgery. Add my clench to it. Let's go,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Hang on. I know I can't willpower that, but like, let me fix those
You're gonna try to willpower it?
Yeah, well, at least those 2. I can't fix it.
Uh-oh.
We'll say you punch this dude so hard, and it's so uncharacteristic of you to go that hard that Clarence, you just see Violet wipe this dude out as she falls with him over a bar, and like they go crashing into the liquor shelf behind the bar. Owen, you see your sister do this. Like, she just straight jaw jacks a dude. She hit him so hard, a tooth is now embedded in one of the rafters. Just like.
That was the time we need to get out of here.
I'm trying to get to you.
All of a sudden, Dueling Banjos comes back on the jukebox and another bar fight breaks out. No. But no, yeah.
No, just go. My leg hurt.
Like, I got something for that. Just hang on.
Alright, so, Owen, you're heading into that back room and you've got Henning and Celine with you.
Yeah. Yes, I'm trying to ultimately escape this building, but I didn't want to go out the front door where all the bikers were.
Okay, so are you trying to keep an eye on everything around you, or are you tunnel vision right now?
I think, like, as I'm going, like right now it's everything because I don't know my strategy. I don't know what's going on. Like, as I kind of figure out how to escape, it's going to become increasingly more tunnel visioned.
Okay.
So right now it's like on edge. Like, I don't know, where am I? What the fuck? Like,
give me an awareness
what
plus
does this
wits,
do?
please.
All right, awareness plus wits.
Yeah, you're trying to make your way to the back room, and you're not paying any attention, but you're noticing Henning's starting to freak out. Like, he's looking around, freaking out.
Okay. What?
As he points, and you see, as soon as he points at the light, you see like a shadow come over on the ceiling, like a roll of smoke traveling along the panels. As the light, push, it explodes, and he cringes. And you see, as he's doing that, you see another candle snuff out. You see what looks to be a small, like, neon light that kind of runs along behind the wall, where they might have like a cashier cash out thing going on back there.
Mm-hmm.
That the whole neon, poof, it explodes out. It's a little puff of gas comes out of it. As you, every time something explodes or goes out, Henning cringes and ducks as Celine is holding tighter and tighter to your arm. This pause for a moment made it. You notice the shadow is starting to encircle you. It's now cut you off from making it further into the back, and you would now have to pass through what looks like to be a small, thin wall of shadow in order to make it back to the front.
Okay. You're just gonna have to trust me, guys, and I gotta go through it. So let's go through it.
Towards the back or towards the front?
Towards the back.
All right,
Or is it it's cutting off going back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I want to make sure I do it. Yeah, so we're gonna go through it.
So you gotta go through it, and you feel Henning get snatched off your arm. You feel Celine get snatched off your arm. Go ahead and roll me and just a raw strength. You can throw athletics in there, so let's do athletics plus strength. That feels appropriate.
Oh.
You feel, and it feels like a large hand has snuck around you, and it's pulling you in. And you get snatched into this shadowy, inky black darkness. You can't see shit. And you feel what feels like something is sizing parts of you up, looking for a soft spot, and it feels like pointy things poking around here or there, holding you off the ground. The most you can do is kick your feet and wiggle your arms. Every now and then you'll see a glimpse of what looks like Henning pass through the shadow in front of you, or Celine's white dress pass through the shadow in front of you.
As she passes by, can I wiggle and try to reach out for her, or?
You do it. It feels like your arms are just pinned down, like they're tied close to like the elbow. So when you try to reach out, you can only move so much.
Okay.
Violet, you stand up from behind the bar after knocking this dude's day into next week, and Clarence, you also notice that Owen just jumped right into some shadow in the back. But as Violet stands up from behind the bar, you two, I'll say you share a look for a half second, as the chanting from Zelda is getting louder and louder, as the wind in this building is coming from somewhere. It's whipping through hard as you're starting to see glasses and liquor bottles getting blown over. Any napkins that were down, they are now gone and pinned to walls in certain areas and starting to travel through the place like debris in a tornado. Stools are falling over. People are getting knocked over by this wind. Go ahead and give me just athletics plus strength to withstand the barrage of wind. Athletics plus strength, Clarence and Violet.
I'm gonna fall over.
Oh yeah.
Hang on, let's try. At least maybe that one might turn into 3. We never know. Let's try.
Nope.
I'm still falling over. It's okay.
Alright, so you're being buffeted into like the edge of this bar. We'll say it's that round bar in the back of the scene background. And you're bumped into the edge inside of it, and you're pinned to it. It's like the movie Twister. You're stuck to this thing. and it's ironic as You Spin Me Right Round is what's playing on the radio right now. And Clarence, you're standing there like a Buster Keaton movie. You're just like facing that wind as it's buffeting against your face, as just as something, it finds some soft spots. You see the thing you feel the thing testing you, Owen, and then it feels what would be right to the side of your ribs, underneath your armpit, smooth access to your heart. But yeah, we'll say the thing it's testing, it found that soft spot underneath your armpit that if it were to stab there, smooth access to your heart. Easy access to your heart. Not smooth. That's an odd thing to say. It's not soft serve. It tests, and you feel that it braces and it tries to hold. It even peels your arm up as you can feel the shadow reeling back for a stab as you start to feel that wind against your face. And next thing you feel is like a sudden drop, like an elevator quickly hitting at last floor. And you feel your feet touch the ground as all the shadow is chased out from you, as the deafening sound of that parcel tongue-like speech that Zelda is doing is just filling your eardrums. Even Henning's on the floor holding his ears at this point, as all the shadow is dissipating, and lights that didn't explode coming back on, candles that were essentially blown out, flame sparks back up. As the light starts to intensify in the building, making all shadow retreat. As you're standing there, Celine is no longer anywhere to be seen, Owen. But Henning's still on the floor right in front of you, crying, weeping like a child.
You right there, bud?
Okay. Gonna be messy.
As he opens up one eye to look around, he's like, "Da, I think I'm good."
Okay. You wanna talk about it, or?
No. I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think I might need to leave. I don't think the proprietor likes me very much.
Well, that's a shame. She's like a nice lady. Why don't you just sit there? I'm gonna go find Celine.
Are you heading further into the back room, or?
Yeah, I just want to check the door. She had to, in my mind, we were all together, and then this happened, and now two of us are here, so she can't be far. So just opening doors, looking for her.
You open up the door to the main back room, you poke your head in the kitchen. Kitchen staff's not in there. You poke your head into an office area. Nobody's in there. Celine is nowhere to be found in this back area. So while you're back there looking for Celine, Clarence, Violet, the wind stops as you see before the shadow was chased away, it looked like it was trying to pile up underneath Zelda, and she started to float and hover off the ground with this chanting. And so she started to scream this chanting, the shadow whoosh, chased away from her, lights started to come back on, and she hits the floor on her hands and knees. As you see Lincoln and Kowalski come up on either side of her and help her up off the floor, as she says, "Everyone, leave." As people start to pile out of the bar, but she looks at you, Clarence, and she goes, "But you," and you, at Violet. And she sees Henning and you guys see Henning stumbling out from the back, and she points at him and she goes, "Especially you." As everybody's just piling out around her, trying to give her as much room as possible.
Okay, we are going to the principal's office.
Yeah, you guys are in trouble.
If I see Henning crawling, I already helped him enough, so I would help him up.
Well, he wasn't crawling. He came stumbling out the back,
I thought you meant he was still crawling.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Like, he came stumbling very dramatically out of the back.
Alright.
So he makes his way out, and he holds his hands up when she says that, and he, like, comes and sits down at a stool at the bar, and you can tell he's been crying violent. His eyes are bloodshot red, and he's got, like, a couple red streaks down his cheek.
Like, really necessary?
Owen, after you sit to the back rooms, it takes you a couple minutes, of course, to go through all the areas, but you cannot find Celine anywhere, not even a trace.
Oh.
All you can find is one of the fresh roses that she keeps in her hair. She re-ups her roses every night. You can only find one of those laying on the floor. Looks like it's been stepped on.
Weird. Okay. Well, we gave the college a try. So I'd probably just stumble. I'd probably go looking for Henning. Don't see him. Keep walking. Find myself in the main area with everyone else.
Oh yeah, you pop back up out there, and Zelda, without missing a beat, after she said Henning's gotta stay, that's when Owen comes popping up out of the back, and she goes, there's the last piece of this puzzle. Have a seat. As she points at the bar, and you see a stool pull itself out for you, Owen.
Oh, that's a trick. Okay. I lit up a cigarette and have a seat.
As she sits down a few stools away, if you guys are like at one end of the bar, she sits down kind of the halfway point. She picks up a glass that's been knocked over on the bar and got caught up by like a buffer on the bar, picks up and blows a little bit of like debris off of it, sets it down on the bar. She looks at you, Violet, and she's like, hand me that whiskey up there. And she points at like the last remaining bottle of whiskey sitting on the shelf behind the bar.
I'll just grab it.
Yeah, she pours herself, like it's a glass. It's like one of those large sifters. She fills that thing to the brim and just chugs it all back, just like gulp, gulp, done, boom, and sets the glass down. And she just makes a quick. So, you guys gonna tell me what he is? And don't treat me like I'm stupid. As she points directly at Henning.
You already know what he is.
Yes.
Yeah, we met him like an hour before you.
Do what?
I'm gonna let him speak for himself.
And he's like, yes, I was the Mitzi. But I'm not Sabat, I swear, as you see her eyes lower. She's like, it appears that some newcomers to my bar tonight show up with a Sabat vampire. And he's like, I swear. She's like, shut up. You show up at my club with a Sabat or not Sabat vampire, and a Sabat biker gang shows up. Clarence, you are very familiar with this Sabat biker gang. They used to be a roving band of horse-topped outlaws. That was, you had to deal with them when the West was still wild. And now that it's not, now they're a 1%er biker gang that usually travels the deserts of California, Nevada, Arizona, and New Mexico.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be the right kind of dickhead to ride with those guys, though.
As she, pours another thing of whiskey and takes a smaller sip, and she's like, you're familiar, huh?
Yeah.
So, and I've heard about you, Clarence. You've been here in this city for a long time. I know about some of your activities. I've got eyes everywhere. As she says that, like, on cue, Kowalski sits down next to her as he's got his almost seemingly never-ending glass of some kind of dark lager. As he takes a sip and sets it down. As he nods and winks at you, Clarence. Go ahead and roll an awareness plus intelligence.
These are things I'm good at. funny because I'm not.
Oh no.
Okay. Kowalski sits down, and all of these memories come flooding in of times when you think you've seen Kowalski actually spying on you. Like, you got ditching a body out in the river or something, and there's a guy sitting on a bench out of nowhere, just reading a paper in a nice, crisp, tightly fitting suit. Just can't see his face. And in another moment, you're at the diner with your coterie, and you look out the window and you swear you've seen Kowalski. You start looking away as if they weren't looking at you before, and then they hail a cab, get in, and go away. You have about 4 or 5 more of these callbacks. The bestial failure comes in. Your Gangrel side comes out, and you are not happy about that, sir. Do you want to try to keep your composure?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep from lunging at him because this is not a good time to do that.
Give me an etiquette plus
No.
Give me an etiquette plus composure, please.
My highfalutin ways. I hope he's strong. Oh, good.
You're sitting there, and he says that, and you like grip the bar, because you still have your claws out, I assume, and you grip the bar, and you like dig them in there. You can see wood splintering up into the air around your claws as he gives you a sly smile and nods and takes a sip of his beer. As you could feel Lincoln come up behind you and pat you on the back. He's like, "Calm down, buddy. You ain't got nothing to worry about. We're just keeping an eye." As he, takes a puff of his cigarette and reaches behind the bar and grabs like a beer from an ice chest that's behind there and pops it on the side of the bar and takes a sip as he goes walking off further into the wider building.
Try to slack up a little bit on that. Use my breathing exercises.
And she's like, "And I did, keep tabs on you for no reason. Your sister was recently attacked by the shadow monster, as you guys so eloquently call it. We call it Bazool." As you see Kowalski, to a hard gulp of his drink, as if that name alone is enough to scare that large, intimidating man. As she's looking at you, Owen. You guys can try to roll an occult plus intelligence to see if this rings a bell.
I'll give it a go.
Let's do it for giggles.
Yeah.
Okay. Violet and Owen, you've heard the name whispered around various anarch circles as kind of a boogeyman tale, but you haven't heard anything beyond that. It's just, elder vampires talking about Bazool.
Oh.
She's like, "How familiar are you guys with demons?"
Demon.
Yes, demons. The ancient variety. It's come cropping up. I've only ever heard of this thing popping up whenever it's summoned, so someone must have really hated you guys if it's after you. Can you think of anybody who might dislike you? As the entire time, every time she talks to one of you, there's a constant darting back to looking at Henning as if she doesn't trust him. And you guys have noticed that not only are Kowalski and Lincoln keeping an eye on this guy, it's as if the security cameras in the joint are all turned to this guy. And Henning's just sitting there, just flabbergasted. He's hearing demons, and he doesn't like the sound of that.
I mean, everyone loves Spain.
That's debatable.
Yeah, everyone but you. You want to be different and lie to yourself. Sure. But
Try to keep my association.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm just trying to keep my associations to myself and be like, yeah, demons. How wild? Yeah. How are they in Vegas?
Though.
Just like, and it looks like this one's gotten a hold of, I assume, a La Sombra. It has the ability to control shadows, but the way that this is amplified, it has to have been a hold of. Is that what you guys call them? Your kind? Not trying to be rude here. As when she said your kind, she like did like a.
Similar thanks. Whatever. Yeah, Lasombra, you're right. I don't know any Lasombra in the Anarchs, just the Ivory Tower. And the Sabat, but
Well, I think you might have an idea of what you would need to look for.
yeah, but I don't want to do it.
Just ignore him.
Yeah, I've been informed that your barons had a couple things for you. One of which is finding who this killer is. Which you might want to go and look into your baron. There's might be a reason you guys haven't heard from him in a while.
Or Silk.
Silk, I'm not familiar with that name, and you can genuinely tell she has no fucking idea who Silk is.
I don't know if I'm more impressed with him or less impressed than you.
She's like, I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, but I'll just assume he's the secretive sort, whoever this Silk is.
I don't know. Okay, thank you for not killing us this evening. I know how cycles work. I need Hemming for like a minute. That's cool.
She's like, oh, I hope you don't plan on leaving. Henning's never leaving here again. As you see Henning, what?
He earlier this evening threatened someone dear of mine, and I just need to make sure that person is in a safe place.
As she leans over and you could hear her whispering something to Kowalski, you can do an awareness plus wits to try to snoop in.
I just use heightened senses.
Go for it.
Cool. You're better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is anybody else gonna go try for it?
Well, I got heightened senses too, so.
Okay. Yeah, you guys activate your heightened senses, and you can hear that she's trying to tell him, like, let him leave. Keep an eye on him. Follow him. And she's like, okay, if you're gonna take Henning with you, I know you're set to perform here sometime soon, Owen. And she was like, yeah, when you come back to perform again, don't bring anybody with you. And she takes another sip of whiskey, and she's like, just be careful out there. I don't like how we've gotten off on the wrong foot, it seems. I don't like the presentation my bar has put across to you, so I open an invitation to each of you to come back. And
That's very generous, thank you.
So I could try to show you a better time. Maybe get you away from that morning star.
There's no place like home.
Ow.
She's like, lost it, Alan. 55-40. This thing is going ape shit. Alright.
We could do it.
55-40 there, Alan. Roughly. We got this. We got
Yeah,
another.
just like
We'll chug along for another hour, dragging our broken legs behind us. We got this. Oh, man. Okay, so, where was I at?
I'm going,
Yeah, because she was talking about Morningstar.
That's right. Yeah,
Owen.
she's like...
I'm
hopefully
glad you have me to remember.
as soon as I can pull you away from... I was ad-libbing, so it was really hard for me to remember where I was ad-libbing from.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So she's like, yeah, I hope to pull you away from the Morningstar. I need a regular act who has got some clout behind them. She's like, and I guess you could perform too, Violet.
Wow.
I haven't performed in a while because somebody took my spotlight.
I'm persuaded.
Mm-hmm.
Not to
like-
share, but to...
That was a moment for a comedy movie bit. It's like, cause somebody stole my spotlight, and then it cuts back to Alan, and there's a huge spotlight on him. He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
Oh man, so yeah. She looks at you, Claire. She's like, if everybody could hold on a minute, come with me and I'll fix your leg.
thanks. Clunk, clunk,
Okay.
clunk, clunk, clunk.
And she runs you through the same ritual. She gives you the liquid, and you have quite an experience. Yeah, you come out the back just looking at your hands like, whoa. Whoa.
I'll tell her, like, at least it wasn't with Henning.
They can touch anything but themselves. Oh, shit.
Like, I don't feel clean. I touched Henning. Like,
Poor guy's over there in the corner. He's like, I don't want to go.
But you can tell she's physically exhausted from having to do that again. As she comes back out to the counter and kind of slumps over on it, and Kowalski kind of picks her up and holds her, like guides her into a stool. As he slides the glass and the whiskey over for her, and she takes another big sip, and she's holding it, kind of like a drunkard would. Just... We got a lot of cleaning to do. Be gone. She takes a sip of her whiskey, and her and Kowalski start talking about getting hold of contractors and other bullshit. As Henning's like, you don't have to tell me twice. As he gets up and he starts to head his way towards the front door.
wait, oh, get him.
Yeah, not too fast there, buddy.
As
Follow him out.
yeah, he gives a little nervous giggle and slows down to where he can keep pace with you out the door. As he's like, I know I said I had a friend of yours. Well,
Yeah.
I lied. I was bluffing.
You don't have Vivian.
No, I figured I'd be honest with you because you helped me and you kept me alive.
I felt a little better.
I'm sorry for deceiving you.
And I'm sorry for thinking about leaving you here. So I guess we're even. You can get in the car.
As he sits inside and kind of just adjusts his jacket and looks out the window, as you know, that look that somebody has on their face when they know they fucked up.
How is the car? Is
Alan
it...
in the backseat. You're still missing a door.
Other than
Yeah.
it's got some spray paint on it now. It's got like a Sabat symbol spray painted on the trunk. It's got I eat gooch written on the side, but eat's written with 2 E's and one of them's backwards, and gooch is written and spelled wrong. It's spelled gutch.
Oh, well, you've seen better days.
And the door's still very much missing. There's like now a brick that's been thrown through the back window. Like it's definitely seen some better days. As even Henning, you guys Henning had to brush glass off of the seat to sit down in the back seat.
Yeah.
And
I just take the convertible like down and just sit in the driver's seat. Just... Okay.
As Violet and Clarence, you guys file into the car as well, I take it?
Yeah, I'm sitting in the back pouting because I'm like, I don't want to be close to him.
Alright, are you guys heading back to your respective domiciles, or are you going back to the warehouse, your haven? I know that's also Owen's.
Yeah, I'll ask Owen and be like, hey, can you drop me off at my house?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna get the fuck away from this.
And Ing's like, if you could just drop me off downtown by the diner, I would prefer that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everyone gets go where they want. That's fine.
So yeah, you drop Violet off, and where is Clarence wanting to go?
I really don't want to be in the Haven, but I don't want to be too far away from it, so probably just a dumpster I can flip and put a bag under.
So are you going back to Rat Alley?
Yeah. Near the warehouse exit at Red Alley.
Okay. Alright, so... And Owen, we'll say you drop off Violet at her apartment. You drop off Clarence at the entrance to Rat Alley, or whatever part of Rat Alley he wants to drop you off at. And it's you and Henning on your way to the diner. And as you're getting close, you notice Vivian's car is parked in the parking lot of the diner. And you could see Henning, or you can see him trying to get your attention in the backseat as he's like looking out the windows, and he's like waving at you in the rearview mirror as he's like, oh, and I think here, I will get out here. I need to go and get something to eat for the night. As you see, he gets a little sly, devilish smirk.
Okay, yeah. I'll just pull over and let him out near the diner.
Alright. So, you go pulling up near the diner, and you notice that Vivian's in there, and she's not alone. She's sitting with the record producer you met a few nights ago.
So slight relief. Okay, cool. Like it could have been. And... All right. He's like a little nervous. It's almost funny. Like park the car, like smooth out, like a sweater and jeans. It's like it's totally different. It's just like, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, and I just go in the diner.
You go inside, and Vivian's sitting there with the record producer, and she looks over her shoulder as she sees you come through the door. Your bright, flaming orange hair stands out among the backdrop of the building. As she's like, oh, we were just talking about you. What a coincidence. As the record producer turns around, looks over his shoulder, he's like, Mr. Vanderham, come on in. Come sit down with us. As the lady behind the counter is just like, what do you have to drink, honey?
Oh, coffee. Just coffee.
How do you want it?
Black?
Coming up, as this exhausted lady behind the counter just starts brewing a fresh cup of coffee, sighing the entire time, audibly trying to get your attention, just... Not so much trying to get your attention, but to let you know that she's tired. The signal, please don't order anything. Alright, who are you sitting down next to, Vivian or the record producer?
Vivian.
Alright, she scoots in to let you in as you see they got a bunch of paperwork on the table. A few contracts, a couple concept ideas for cover of albums. The main thing that gets your attention, though, is the aforementioned contract. There's one of them up there for his record label to sign you. As you're sitting down, as he's tapping a pen back and forth, drumming a little rhythm along with the music playing on the jukebox. We'll say Gary Newman's Cars, as he's like just tapping his pen. And it's like, so, yeah, it's funny we bumped into you. Me and your agent or manager here were just talking about you, and it's kind of odd. I'm pretty sure your ears were burning. And she's like, yeah, that's quite the coincidence. What's you doing out here?
Oh, just I'm bringing an old friend home. Just happened to be driving by in the neighborhood and saw the car.
Oh, well, we were just talking about how you were supposed to do a show at a bar called, she rifles around and finds the paper, The Oasis, and yeah, we got a phone call earlier, a couple minutes ago about, there's some damage to the building, so they're gonna have to postpone your show.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh, I met the owner not too long ago. She was a lovely woman. Bummer, Nice.
Well, that's great. We talked with her. She wants to still book you, and the record producer's like, yeah, and if you're getting the attention of places that have some prestige behind them, I figured I might as well go ahead and nab up this rising star. So I was wondering if you'd be interested in joining my little indie record label.
Yeah. If we can come to a mutual agreement, it sounds like potentially a good fit. We'll see.
You look at the amount of money on there, and Vivian hasn't argued for you in an amount that you would like.
Well, it's not. It's more about the creative control than it is. I mean, the money, obviously.
Okay,
nice,
well, yeah,
but
that's there too. You've got creative control, but they have final say, is what's written into the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't know.
There's like a whole bunch of passages about your creative control. I'm pretty sure Vivian mentioned it to him at some point in time in their conversation. They got him going, oh yes, creative control, obviously. But it's like at the end of it all, there's that final little clause that, yes, Owen Vanderham has creative control over all the wicked and the divine music. The record producer has final say.
Okay. Well, I mean, that works out great because I produce my own work anyway, so I'll be the producer on all the records, so I guess it's all right.
He's like, oh, no. I'm fulfilling that role. If you're going to record at my studio, you're recording under my label.
Oh, I don't really... Well, I haven't seen your studio, so I can't really complain or argue or compare it to anything. I have a couple places in mind already, and
it's like, how about
where to record?
As he flicks out a card that's like his business card, it's got the address of the studio on it, and he's like, how about you come by tomorrow evening? Vivian told me that you're a bit of a night owl, so I not to schedule you during the day, because you're usually practicing and, as I quote, working on your art, as he looks at Vivian and she just smiles. Yes, sir, working on his art.
Plus, the sun just doesn't agree with my complexion at all.
As he looks at it, he's like, I noticed. I thought it was the rock star lifestyle.
Yeah, well, clean body, clean soul, clean mind, you gotta keep it all clean if you want to get dirty. So, do I recognize the address? I'm asking if it's the same recording studio as Headings.
No.
Okay.
No, it's a different recording studio. Not too far away from Headings. It's at, like, a couple radio stations.
Yeah. Okay. I'd love to have a tour. I'd love to hang out and talk to Vivian over this whole thing. There's a lot of paperwork here that she's got to read back to me. So.
And you notice on the card is written the name, the Sanctuary Studios.
It's a good name.
It's like, thank you. We have quite a few artists like yourself, as he rattles off the name of a few people you've heard on the radio, maybe a couple people you've performed with, and he names off Roxy, and he's like, yeah, we've got plenty talent going there, but I think we've got something special with you. I think you're going places, Owen.
Appreciate you saying so. It's definitely an offer worth considering. Thank you.
As Vivian's picking up what you're dropping, and she's like, yes, we will definitely be in contact with you, and if my client is unable to attend the tour of your sanctuary studios tomorrow, I'd be glad to do it myself. As she looks at you with that look, like, is that okay?
No, I'll make it.
She's like, see, he'll make it. We're interested, but we will be in contact, definitely. And she's like, oh, that sounds great. As the server comes over and she drops the coffee down on the table for you, drops him a plate of food, and drops her a little small plate of food, and they start grubbing. She's like, what would you like to eat, sir?
Oh, no, the coffee's great. That's it. Thank you.
Oh, okay. As you just see a sigh of relief on her face as she goes back to behind the counter, and it's just going back to trying to clean and getting ready for the end of her shift, we suppose. Are you going to stick around for this meal, or?
Yeah, I actually want him to leave.
Yeah, these guys are eating their meals, and the record producer's just asking you a lot of questions about your music, Owen. Mainly, like, where do you see your music going? Do you see yourself jumping genres like Kiss has?
Yeah, I definitely, like, this record is a moment in time where it's this thing. The next one, like, you can't stay in one spot. Like, it's going to progress, it's going to change, it's going to be something entirely different than this one is. Otherwise, what are you doing? You're just looping, It's not a loop, it's a spiral. The music has to change and evolve and be, and I really start getting into my own shit.
Yeah. Oh man, give me a persuasion plus charisma. Let's see how much of your shit he's slurping up.
Okay. And I imagine, like, as I'm talking, like, subconsciously, it's my awes activating. Like, I'm just, like, getting into it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. He's like, and he wipes his mouth off. He's like, okay, Mr. Vanderham, I get it. You are passionate. That's what we like to see over at Sanctuary Records. Just passion. As you can tell, he zoned out like halfway through the first sentence. As soon as you started going back to the thesaurus of words in your mind, he just said,
like the second time, I'm like, no, it's not a loop, it's a spiral. It's a loop, it's not a loop, it's a spiral. He's just checked out.
Yeah, he started looking around at the waitress every time she was bending over, eating his food, checking his watch like a religion. Just yep, yeah. There's even one point where he even tried to interject at one point and tried to be like, "Well, what about?" And you just like trampled over him. It's just like, yeah,
yeah. That's why creative control and final say is so important. You just have to live in the moment.
All right. So, who is next while we're waiting on this man to get done eating his meal? All right. So, Clarence, you're at Rat Alley, and you're flipping over a dumpster to sleep for the night. As you're heading into Rat Alley, you can see that it looks like a lot of the imagery that Father Calloway had spray painted all over the place, and the iconography that had been etched and sewn into shit, either getting spray painted over, burned in barrels. It looks like there's an entire revolt against the Father Calloway way of thinking out here in the alley.
That's good. Don't need to pay him a visit.
As you see a familiar hobo face out there at one of the barrels as he sees you come down and he waves at you.
Was he the kid who sold me out to Calloway? I can't remember.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I just go...
As he raises a brown bag wrapped bottle and takes a sip of it, and goes back to talking to the other homeless people at the barrel fire he's at. He doesn't remember betraying you at all. It's just that was another Tuesday night to him.
What a prick. Okay. Yeah, just maybe if I can scoot up and see if he's got any gossip he's talking about.
Yeah, he actually is talking about how it's crazy, these guys in suits, but like not mafia guys. Yeah, these guys look real stuffy, like a bunch of fucking bookworms came out here in the alleyway and chased off Father Calloway. They were talking to something about rules and stuff like that. It's crazy. Roll me a politics plus intelligence.
Okay. I just heard. Let's see. I gotta find where politics is. We don't ever use that. And intelligence. Here we are. Sure, why not?
Hey! Alright. Not too bad there, Clarence. Not too bad. You recognize the way they're talking about it? The Camarilla was here.
They're not supposed to be in here.
And they've breached territory rules. And they've chased off an anarch from this territory.
Baron needs to know about that. Yeah. How much time do we got in the night today?
Got a few more hours.
Few more hours? I don't think I got enough time to pop over to a phone, do I?
Yeah, you got time.
Okay, can I get a hold of Stilk?
Yeah, you can try. Let's...
I don't remember if I have a number for him or not.
I'm trying to remember if you do. That's why I was like harumphing. I was like, who did he give his number to? I thought it was Owen.
Yeah, I still have one.
I have it too.
Told you to lose it here, so.
I feel like I would be one of his men on the street anyway.
Yeah, so, yeah, you give Silk a call. And he's like, hello?
There's some issues coming down at Red Alley.
Whoa, who is this?
Your boy.
What? I don't have any children. What are you talking about?
You know, it's Clarence.
Oh, okay. It's hard to tell your voices apart sometime, you know. All you smooth-skinned looking normies are all looking the same these days.
Okay, hurtful. Anyways, there's more important pressing matters here. The cam's been banging around in Rat Alley.
Oh, really? Baron's gotta know about this. Well, thanks for letting me know. What proof do you have?
For one, Calloway's been displaced.
As you hear,
Two, I've heard.
As you hear him start to kind of chuckle in the background, he was just like, well, who doesn't want to get rid of that chump?
Absolutely, but at the same time, he's pretty well entrenched. He's like a tick.
Yeah, but what makes you think it was the cam? That's a major breach of territory rules.
Because one of the kind were chatting about it, having some people come down and chasing off all of the cultists.
Interesting.
That doesn't happen unless there's some muscle behind it. Not normal muscle.
I'm gonna come down tomorrow night. I'm gonna check it out before we take this to the Baron. Because that's some serious accusations you're making. That could lead to war.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, I'll meet you in Rat Alley tomorrow night. You better be telling the truth, because if you're trying to incite a war, I don't think the Baron's gonna be too happy, you know?
I got you.
Alright, then he just hangs up the phone.
Click. Did my good deed for the night. Hopefully.
it's just another Vegas night out there. As you get off the phone, cars honking, the occasional like person screaming "fuck you," "no fuck you," a cat screeching, trash can getting knocked over. So what you doing, Clarence?
I'm gonna look for Lobo.
All right. Are you gonna ask around the alley for him?
Yeah.
As you make your way back from the payphone, you notice there's just one hobo left out there. The guy pictured, the aforementioned hobo that betrayed you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll call him Hobo Steve. Steve, salty trash can Steve betrayed you. He's sitting over here above this barrel, but he sees you come back in the alley, and he remembers your last interaction where he waved, and he just looks at you and looks back down at the barrel and takes a sip of his booze.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about the only person you can see out here in the alley.
Just grit it. Be like, just side up to him. Be like, how's your night going?
Well, it's not too bad. Other than some stuffy dudes coming in here and chasing off Calloway and his weirdos, well, it's been pretty quiet. I think everybody's taken off for where they're gonna sleep for the night. I'm over here nursing a bottle, as he's like, you want some?
I'm good, man. You know I don't touch that shit.
Well, figure we could try to break bread, or as he shakes the bottle and you hear it sloshing inside, he's like, or some liquid bread, as he takes another sip.
You can have your own.
Alright, so Rat Alley, and you're looking for Hobo Lobo, Clarence?
Yes, because he might want to know something about what's going on in here too.
Alright, are you gonna ask this guy about, would everybody else know him as Hobo Lobo? How would you ask around about this guy?
Yeah, I don't actually know his name. I just know what he smells like and what he looks like.
Well, you could probably describe the look to this guy.
I could describe him to him. See if you've seen him around.
It's like, I saw him, I think I saw him the other night. Yeah, something about having to go into hiding. Yeah, he's apparently something happened somewhere. You know how it is out here in Vegas. As he giggles, takes another sip of his booze. He's like, I heard he had to go to hiding somewhere around, like, Lake Mead, somewhere over there.
That's concerning. Okay. Oh, well, don't stay out too late. There's monsters out here.
Yeah, that boogeyman's gonna get me. As he takes another sip of his booze and, like, wobbles in place. And he's like, yeah, you're funny, man. I think I'm gonna go pass out now. You have a good night there, Clarence. Yeah. As he stumbles off, taking another sip of his bottle, and he's like,
Cool. Alright, this is a concerning set of events for Rat Alley, but I'm dog tired. So I think if there's no more time, I've made my report to Silk. And it seems pretty safe in here.
Yeah, for the most part, it's actually pretty quiet. The hobos that you do see are sleeping right now.
Alright, yeah, all the cool kids are sleeping and safe. Yeah, I'd probably just dive under my dumpster then.
Alright. So, Violet, back at your apartment. You come inside, and it's, just as you left it, Clarence did a good job of cleaning the place. So Clarence did an amazing job cleaning the place. He even put some nice potpourri in a little bowl on the coffee table for you.
It still smells like bleach, but okay.
Did you see a blinking light on your answering machine?
I'm just gonna be like,
You hit play, and you hear a very familiar voice, one that you've just heard. Luca DiGiorno, going, "Yeah, Violet, I think we got off on the wrong foot. I got your number from a mutual associate. Hope you don't mind me calling. I think we need to bury the hatchet. Let's go ahead and say bygones be bygones. Looks like you're having a rough time. I'm not having a great time either. I've got a business opportunity for you, though. How about you call me back at the following," and he says the number. It's like, and, yeah, maybe we can work together on a little business opportunity. Maybe forget about any debts and work towards making a bunch of money together. What you say? As you hear him hang up.
I'm gonna laugh. Wait, what? But then I'll call him back.
Alright, you call him and you hear, it's like, "Hello.
Hi.
Ah, Violet, hey. So, I take it you, are interested in whatever I might have to offer, huh?"
I mean, if it gets you off my hands.
It's like, I seen you pal around with some bikers before, am I wrong?
Back in the day?
Well, I've got a little bit of a crew that they could use a new face. What you think about joining up with one of my biker crews? They only go around at night. I know how, you like your brother. You gotta like fucking bats or something.
Hey, the night's better for your skin.
Hey, I ain't gonna argue with you on that one. Hey, but so how about we meet up at the airport tomorrow night?
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, I have a crew out there. You go meet up with them and they'll take you to the next location. You know how these things work. But it's nice to be in business with you, Violet.
Always a pleasure, Luca.
I was about to say, he just hears your silence on the other end of the phone. He goes, "I guess the feeling's not mutual. Hopefully soon it will be."
Well, obviously, it's always a pleasure, Luca.
As he hangs up as soon as you get done saying his name.
Yep.
I could have made him go bada bing bada boom and just hang up on you.
He's a very important man.
Great.
But as you hang up, you can't help but notice that, you got your little listing of numbers right there. Right at the top is Christian. Right below that's Oliver. You got your brother. A couple of clubs. Things like that.
I'm gonna try Oliver one more time.
You try Oliver and you get doo-doo-doo. The number you are trying to reach is no longer in service.
Okay, little power.
You rip the phone out of the wall, like the cord, everything, just throw it out of a window, and you hear like a car screech and bump into something, a couple horns honk. Somebody go, "What the fuck you doing?"
This is gonna be hanging out the window, be like,
And you've only got a couple hours until daylight, and Oliver's phone is disconnected.
one, I just lost weight to call anybody else, so I'm gonna pout and go to bed.
Alright, I'm gonna need you to... This is gonna be hard to get to sleep. So let's go with... survival plus composure.
be dumb and use Blood Surge, even though I'm already at 3.
You're off and on sleeping all day, like every couple hours your eyes open and you're like, nighttime again. And then you look and you see your clock and you're like, what? It's only been 2 hours. Then you try to get back to sleep. It's one of those days for you. You just, yeah. You're able to recover everything from your night of sleep, just like you, Clarence. You're able to do your recovery. We'll go ahead and do some rouse checks for you guys for healing, because I know you guys took some damage at some point. And then we'll get back to Owen at the diner. Let him finish up the night, and then we will get to what Violet does the next day. Nice.
Ooh. Ellie.
Alright, so you guys slept and things seem to be just fine. So we are going to get back to the restaurant. So Vivian and the record producer there, he's just now finishing up his meals. He's checked his watch about 1,000 times in your little speech there. Oh, and I'm pretty sure while he was eating, you took the opportunity to fill the silence with plenty of talking about yourself.
Yeah.
And he started to plow through that meal about halfway through your probably story about your last song you created. He's yep. Oh man, look at the time. Well, it's been great, Mr. Vanderham, and it's been great, Miss Vivian. As he reaches out to shake her hand, and he does like a nice little proper handshake for her, and he reaches out to shake your hand, Owen.
Yeah, I give him a good little shake and a wink.
As he pulls out his wallet, rifles through, and he pulls out like a $10 bill, and he sets it on the table, and it's like, all right, you guys have a great night. And he leaves out, and he makes sure to wave at the waitress, even though she's turned around from him. He waves, and he's just like, it was a great meal, thank you. And she's like, yep. So he heads out the door.
Great. Well, finally. Hey, I've missed you. You've been around like days. What's going on?
Well, I kind of started seeing somebody. Oh, that's not a problem. As she's immediately like freaking out. She doesn't even give you a chance to fill that space in between her sentences with anything. She goes from, I started seeing somebody to, is that okay? Is that...
I'm not really one to share, but like, also you got some bad choice in men, like Oliver. Ugh.
She's kind of narrows and kind of suspects. She's like, how do you know about Oliver?
He was obsessed.
Wait,
he's got a picture of you in his wallet already.
What? She's just... She practically chokes on her food and has to take a sip of water, and it's a very nervous sip. She's like, he's got a picture of me in his wallet. We only went on like one date and slept together once.
Too many times, in my opinion. He won't be around much, I don't think, unfortunately.
Wait, what did you do?
I am assaulted. Do you think I did anything?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I
like that response. Give me a subterfuge plus manipulation. I know it's your forte, but there is a chance that, she's close enough to you to see through the facade.
Yeah, it's fair. It would be her.
She's
I'll let it ride, that's fine.
Yeah. She's kind of regretfully accepting whatever you're telling her. Like, okay. Like, there's that air of she's just telling you okay, but part of her does not believe you at all.
Look, it's a complicated thing with him and my sister, and then suddenly you were involved, and I'm a jealous bitch, okay? I'm sorry. I just...
She's like, wait, your sister? What does she have to do with anything?
Yeah, her and Oliver. I don't.
She's like, God damn it. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't.
I'm sorry to tell you. You don't have to hear that from me.
She's like, well, after you told me about the picture, I didn't plan on talking to the guy anymore, but then you bring up your sister, and now I just feel gross.
Yeah, I would feel gross if I thought about my sister too, so.
She's like, well, I wouldn't put it that way, but okay. I don't know what to say. He seemed like such a nice guy. I figured police officer, there's some stability there. You know, Veronica needs stability in her life.
I try to keep my shit away from yours and kind of create some, not balance, but like some sense of normalcy. And I'm trying. I'm sorry. Again, I'm a jealous bitch and I can't help myself. So
she's apologizing profusely as she feels gross. She doesn't know what to do with herself. She's like, I think I'm just gonna go home. I got a babysitter there. It's really late. I didn't expect to be out this late with the record producer, but you know, we had some good talks. You got a potential record contract. Things went really well, and yeah, so I think I'm gonna get home, let the babysitter, you know, get back to their place. I hope you have a good night, Owen, as she pulls out a $10 bill and slaps it onto the table. And as she's starting to stand up to leave, she looks back over her shoulder. Roll me an awareness plus wits, Owen. Oh, I lost all of you. And I don't know at what time. Well, you guys are coming back. Alright, I don't know what time that was there, everybody.
it was the entire speech.
Son of a bitch!
You were in a good zone.
I was in the good zone too. Oh,
You were,
man.
yeah. That's what we were saying. You were in a great zone. We saw the back half of it.
Alright, so where did it cut out?
As soon as you started.
You started it. It cut you out.
The second you were about to hurt, the second you were about to shatter his heart in twain.
Yeah.
Alright, so she stands up and starts to walk away and looks over her shoulder back at you, and I told you to... Oh, you didn't get any of that?
No, I stopped talking, you cut out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so... What did you say last when I cut out?
I was apologizing. Like, she apologized, I apologized. I was like, I'm just a selfish bitch. Like, I really care about you. I'm trying really hard.
Well, I get that. And you know what? I think it's just late. I didn't expect to be out this late with the record producer. But hey, we got a record contract for you. So let's just call it a night. As she pulls $10 out of her purse and sets it onto the table. She's like, hey, I gotta get home. I gotta get the babysitter out of there. She's probably ready to go home, wondering why it took so long this evening. But yeah, you know, Owen, you have a great night, and we'll talk tomorrow when we go to check out this studio. Sound good?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
And she's saying that as she's like holding her purse, standing next to the table, and she starts to walk out. She gets to by the front door, and she looks over her shoulder at you, and roll me an awareness plus wits.
Yeah. This is a mistake. We're gonna blood surge it though.
That was fun. One of the dice
And then we're
came from
gonna-
the right. You're gonna willpower it, huh?
Yeah.
Alright. Man. Okay, so we've got... You see at the last second, there's where the bestial failure comes in. But you see in plain daylight, well, not daylight, but plain moonlight, 3 masked men. One bursts through the door, causes her to startle and look back at the door as the second one that comes through just wraps her around the neck and has a gun to the side of her head. The first guy's approaching the counter with his gun out and drawn. They're masked, but they're clearly punkers, just wearing balaclavas. As the first guy's approaching the counter, going, "Give me the money! Give me everything you've got in this store! Open up the safe!" As the third guy comes in with what looks to be a small submachine gun, maybe like an Uzi or a MAC-10, as he's kind of pointing it around the rest of the restaurant. There's a couple other patrons in there that are, getting down onto the floor, as the one guy's got Vivian around the throat, and the dude with the MAC-10 looks at the table and sees you're the only one that hasn't laid down on the floor yet. He's, "Get down on the floor!"
Fuck yourself.
Well, fuck you!
I stand up. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, roll me an insight plus wits.
Okay. Upset. Insights. Wits. Those are mental stats. Okay.
It's good enough. It's good enough to notice a little bit. The guy who's pointing the MAC-10 at you, scared out of his mind. You could see sweat coming out from under his balaclava, dripping and running down his neck.
Okay. I activate immediately. I want their attention. I want him especially. I see he's freaking out a little bit. So, and I want to do entrancement on him.
Alright, give me some rolls.
Yeah.
Your first one is going to be a difficulty of 4. That's just a general blanket. If you get at least 2, you'll have MAC-10 guy. You get 3, you'll have front counter guy. You get 4, you'll have hostage taker.
Is that working? It's frugality. Okay. I have to do a roused first. Let me do that real quick here. Why did it jump me from 3 to 5?
You should only be at 4 hunger.
It should be at 400, yes.
Roll a willpower, please.
How about willpower next? Failed the willpower check.
So, alright, so you activate awe, and before you can activate trance, the hunger inside of you starts to rile up.
Yeah.
And you have to try to fight the beast back. The guy with the Uzi shaking and pointing the gun at you, the man who has Vivian with a gun to her head as she is screaming your name, asking you for the help. And the lady behind the counter is freaking out. The man who's got the gun pointed at the lady behind the counter so the guy with the Uzi, he sees you stand up. You haven't given in to frenzy yet, so I'm gonna control you for an action. Yeah, I'm gonna control you for an action, and then you're gonna control you for an action. You stand up and start walking across the tops of the tables towards him. You see he starts to freak out and he's shaking. "Stop! Get down! Get down!" As he doesn't want to pull the trigger, but then he does. But before he pulls that trigger, what are you doing? As you notice, you're starting to walk towards this man with your fangs out, walking across the tops of the tables.
Wait, in that case, I almost wouldn't pay attention to him. If I'm as far gone as I think I am, it would be the sole focus would be the man holding Vivian.
Okay.
So, my original reasoning for wanting this guy was just because he was closest. I can get him to turn on his friends to save Vivian. It's save Vivian is the only objective here. Nothing else matters.
Okay. You're making your way across the tables. You're looking at the guy holding hostage, and the dude with the small submachine gun just lets out a fearful little triple shot and a little burst, and one of the bullets grazes you across the cheek. That freaks the guy out at the counter, as he's like, as he's looking back and forth. And no roll required. You notice the only person here who seems to have their head screwed on right this evening as far as keeping their composure is the guy holding Vivian. As he turns around, as you see, he's got not just his arm wrapped around her, but he's got a knife up against the side of her neck that's already started to cut in, as he turns around and he pulls up the gun at you.
That's the first right move you made all night.
As the guy at the counter, you hear a gunshot ring out, and he shoots the waitress behind the counter as she slams up against the wall and slides down, holding her gun, where she was just shot. As the guy at the counter freaks out, and he goes to run out the door and bumps into Uzi Guy, which that causes Uzi Guy to open up fire again. By the time that you're able to regain your faculties again, you are mid-air jumping at the hostage guy.
Okay.
Gonna roll with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead and give me a brawl plus athletics. Or no, not athletics. Brawl plus dexterity. Mid-air, going after the guy.
It's reach. What do you think we're going for is?
Nice. Go ahead and describe how you yoke this guy down.
So he's holding her.
Yeah, he's got.
Like,
her,
I don't want to.
He's got her like this, with a knife right here against the side of her throat, and he's got the gun pointed up at you.
Okay. So I jump at him like kind of like off to the side, so his like arm sticking out is gonna hit my chest. And then I want to like take my hands and like I'm probably not starting to crush his skull, but like just disorient him to the point where I can get this knife out of there situation. Like, I don't care how much damage my body takes as long as she's alive.
All right, yeah. He just starts opening fire on you. Just plop, 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 plop. Go ahead and give me a stamina check. I know you automatically soak, but let's see if your frenzied, almost frenzied state is eating a little bit of this damage for you.
What?
Just raw stamina.
Okay.
It is. It's almost as if you have fortitude activated. Your anger and the frenzy's taking over. So yeah, your frenzied state is absorbing some of these blows, and you're moving in such a way that you're avoiding some of these gunshots. You only take 2 superficial damage from these bullets, and that's after soaking and everything. As he's unloaded a clip, like in rapid, it's clicking by the time you land on him. And let's go ahead and do a brawl plus composure.
Composure. Blood surge going. Let's see what we got here. 3, 1.
Okay. As you tackle the guy, his arm comes away and it only slashes her just slightly across the side of the neck as he goes slamming down to the floor. And where I take back control, you start feeding. And you drain the guy dry as Vivian stands there holding her neck up against one of the stools, watching you violently feed on this guy. He's just convulsing and having seizures on the ground. Your feeding is not giving off the euphoria this evening. Your frenzy is dumping all the way into it. As he finally stops twitching, and Vivian is now scarred for life after witnessing that scene as you stand up, blood pouring down your chin like you're about to go perform on stage, except it's all over the front of your suit, as you hear the ting-ting, ting-ting of the door opening and closing as the 2 other assailants go running off into the night. As you hear Vivian go, "She's dead!" as she's looking over the bar at the waitress. And that is where we will end our session for the evening, with a potential masquerade breach. Fun!
Yay!
I feel gross.